You seem to be such a nice guy. I've said that. So, what is the meanest thing you've ever said to someone?
Need that food. Sorry, I'm ready.
Hello and welcome to Nollywood Goodfellow. I talk about Nollywood here, and today I'm excited to have the director of two of my favorite films from 2024. Two films that are high on sensitive characters, humble backgrounds, and violent attacks on the tear ducts. Uh, the director of A Father's Love and a Danfo Christmas. Sebastian, thank you so much for making it.
Actually, thank you so much for having me here. I'm grateful. It's good to be with you, not the good fellow. And thank you so much for loving my movies. It was a pleasure. When you sent me this message to journey here live, I was really excited and overwhelmed with joy. And thank you so much. Thank you for the support. I'm very grateful.
I'm also really excited to have you. Well, Sebastian, you look like a very good boy. You look like a boy who listens to his parents, who goes to church on every Sunday. No shige, no wahala. So is that why your characters are also such good men, such good people?
Exactly. No. Okay, well, I'm a man. I'm not a boy anymore. Anyway, my father, I'll still be a boy. I'm in my 30s now. So do I have a pretty young face? But I mean, here we are. And like you said, of course, that could probably explain why my characters are so good. I I love good characters that present a message to my audience. Like after they finish watching a film, what do they take home after watching my film? I want my audience to always take something home, and I want to always have this moral culture in every story I direct, every film I make. I want to have that moral thing in there. I like to deal with family friendly dramas, and I enjoy telling authentic stories that reflect real human situations. You know, story that you can trace to the everyday man. Story that somebody in India, somebody in America, someone in UK can watch and they can identify with. Although maybe this story may be set in Nigeria, but it's not a story that is only relatable to Nigeria. It's a story that somebody anywhere in the world can watch and say, oh, this is real, this can happen to me, or this one happened to somebody I know, or this happened, this is something that is traceable, something that can happen to any human. It's not a story that was just a fiction that was just picked up somewhere and then everybody watches it and know and they know it's me. It's something I want people to always talk about my film afterwards. After watching it, they start putting themselves in the shoes of the character and say, okay, if it were you, what would happen? How would they handle the situation? That's the thing for me.
Well, then that's exactly how I felt after watching your films. And even if talking about your short film, Tales of the Bro Beaten, even though that is around evil people, even there the central character, the main narrator is still such a positive, sensitive person. And what really stands out for me is your depiction of the sensitive, humble African man. So, yeah, so congrats on that. I'd like to know about how you started out your journey. Was filmmaking something you always wanted to get into, or uh, how did it happen?
Well, I just knew I always wanted to tell my stories, not film or anything. I just wanted to be a storyteller. I would often gather my age grade when I was really young and think back in 2001, 2004, 5, 6, 7. I gather my age grades or younger children would start telling stories outside. We used to live in a public house in Nigeria. It's called Face Me, I Face You. And so every evening, 6, 7, 8 p.m., 9 p.m. to up to 10 p.m., we just gather ourselves and we start telling stories. We tell stories from the Bible, story from, different stories. We just gather ourselves. I have the most talker. I tell stories. They enjoy me talking. That's how it is. That's how I started. I just love story. He didn't know what filmmaking was. Then I started calling it very, very tiny. But in 2016, it was in 2016 that big um, fun happened. Before 2016, I had attended a theater training in 20, I think in 2014 or thereabout. I think around 2012, 2013 to 14, around that time, around that period. So I attended a theater training. But in 2016, I watched a music video made by Peters here in Nigeria. It's one of the big music directors, music directors, sorry, the largest country or in Nigeria. So he did a, a, a music video titled Holy Holy. It was two Baba, and he did a music video. Planet Peter shot that music video. When I watched that music video, it it did so much to me. I just loved the story. There was a story I was saying beyond the lyrics of Baba at the time. And so I called a few persons. I just put on Facebook. I said, I'd like to make a short film. If you want to be part of it, come around. I just put it on Facebook and put an address. And then I saw about 22 people. They came up, some people I never knew. We didn't have a script. I didn't even know where the record button of the camera was. I just called someone who could handle, I think it was Canon 60D at the time. I said, okay, just take this shot, take this shot, take this shot, take this shot. And there's no script whatsoever. And then we got together, we did that short film. I edited it because I started learning editing at the time. I edited it myself and I started it situation reports. I uploaded it on Facebook, got over 50,000 views. And then it's currently on YouTube, on my YouTube page, Breakfast Studios on YouTube, where I offer filmmaking tutorials. It's there. I uploaded it about 3 years ago on YouTube, but it's been there on Facebook since 2014. From there, I was heading at the time. From there, I did that was situation reports. Then I got into a film training in 2018. It is called Script to Screen Africa, organized by Mr. Bright Wonder. And they called filmmakers and actors from from across Africa, South Africa, Ghana, Nigeria. Yeah, I wasn't in, I didn't say there was no knowledge of filmmaking, but I missed filmmakers and actors who had been trained, who had one professional training or the other in filmmaking, So I was just there. I went in that training boot camp. It was the reality show, TV show. When that training boot camp for about 2 months, we were being trained and giving tasks and people were evicted. I was there. They were giving us tasks. They would tell us, I was there as a director, tell us to record the monologue for an actor. We would pick an actor, record the monologue. We would also pick an actor, we would do an excerpt, a script excerpt about, they give us a scene. That's okay, direct it the way you want to. So other directors who had gone far, directors were doing very well, but I was struggling, but I just wanted to tell stories. And then there is this medium called a screen where I would tell story for other people to watch. It was exciting for me. It was exciting for me that I wanted to do. So that script to screen gave me some level of training in what storytelling should be. And then later that year, 2018, I made a short film entitled Rancor. I wrote it myself because at this time, even though I didn't get a formal training of how screenplay should be written, I started reading Oscar award-winning screenplays from Quentin Tarantino. I would download online and read it. I download the Tyler Perry's screenplays, film he directed, like For Colored Girls. I would download it and when I watch the film, I'll go search the script online, read it, and just see how it is written. And then I wrote my own, The Rancor. It is about genotype and sequential anemia. That was my first birthday. We made Rancor. In 2019, I made another short film titled Oxymoron about what I saw in University of Calabar when I went there. I just saw that young ladies who were especially level 100, when they get to school, there's this energy they come with. They want to get into school. They want to find love. They want to find that fantasy boyfriend they've been reading in book. But when they get to school, the fantasy boyfriend you get, they get into a relationship with, is always the bad guy who always show them something. So at the end of the day, they chop breakfast like in call it here in Nigeria. So I just wrote this short story. I titled of Digmoron about this young lady who finds her dream man. She had a dream about this man she would really love to be in a relationship with. And she finally see this man physically, be like, so, but this man is the playboy. And so that was how that's oxymoron. And that was how we in 2020, the coronavirus year, I started writing a story I titled this Theory Rabbit. It's about the street children I saw in the University of Calabar when I went at the school there in Calabar. Calabar there is one of the largest street children in the whole of Nigeria, if not the largest. They hold like the evening number of homeless children, street children in Calabar who once had parents. So the question is, where are the parents of these children? Because they didn't fall from heaven. Some parents were responsible for bringing them here. So, the situation record is just an excerpt because there's the feature story I have, which I'm hoping to make soon with the right investors. We are looking into it anyway. Speaking of, spoken to Steve about it. We are looking into this story. So that feels the Brabby thing is an excerpt from that story. You know, the Tales of the Brabby King is an excerpt of how some children ended up in the streets. Some of them have parents and guardians who should cater for them, but at the end of the day, they become the ones who are breadwinners of their family, the other way around, which is not how it's supposed to be. I'll just make reference to the scripture. It says that a man who cannot take care of his own household is worse than an infidel. So it says that a man should take care of his own household, not the children taking care of the household. God did not ordain it that way. So I was so unhappy. I saw if you go to Calabar now, there are so many children there, homeless, children, and a lot of people happening to them in the street there. So this is coronavirus, and they said everybody to stay at home. What does stay at home mean for children who doesn't have a home? So I started writing this story to the Brabbies in these 3 chapters actually. But the budget for making those 3 chapters was really expensive. And I kept it in 2021, 2022. Because in 2022, I said, well, we must make that film. So we took out 3 chapters from that story. I made it an anthology. But 3 chapters, The Window Girl, Odi Got a Looking, and Sopuruchuku. So we removed Sopuruchuku and we did The Window Girl and Odi Got a Looking. We made it, so this was the rapid became the 3 chapter, A Window Girl and Odi Got a Looking. We made that. That was what we afford. So I am, I think, again, Onifatuation, the cakes where they could use out and we put one together. When I say we put one together, we literally scratched everything we had. After making that film, I remember I went back to Abuja, broke, like officially broke. Zero naira, nothing else. But I was about to even sell my laptop at the time. But I was making the film because in 2021, when I was doing the December, I was writing the things I was going to do in 2022. Then I wrote that we'll make Film of the Brabby King and we're going to win XYZ awards with that film. Those awards I wrote at the time, we won all of them. That was how I met obviously. Because in 2019, I saw this call for submission on Instagram when the film works. They made the call. They said we were looking for directors who had made short films but have never done feature film before. So the idea is to train these young directors and empower them. Who can't hold them through the process of making their own first feature film. That was where the first feature came about. And so I just sent my entry. My entry video is on YouTube. I've been reading about films, film directors. I've been reading about them, watching them, down to Ozu's film, Tokyo Stories of the 50s. I've been checking Martin Scorsese's films, Spielberg, not the recent film that the recent generation will really love, but those old, I don't know what was taking me back there. Why? Why was I taking back to those films? It was because I used to believe that the the reference point is always the original from the later. The reference point, the beginning is always more authentic. So filmmakers of the now who really want to be grounded as to authentic storytelling, they should go back to the reference point, to the themes of the black and white films. So that was how I was going back to that what's it called? Reference point, the reference point. Sorry, yeah, I like to make reference to the Bible. If you ask the Lord, ask the many times they brought questions to Jesus, and they would say, in the beginning it was not so. Meaning the reference point was not like that in the beginning. So that taught me to always go back to the reference point. It was how I was reading and watching, and people like Yasuhiro Ozu, Martin Scorsese, especially Quentin Tarantino is of this crop, though he's an old crop, but he's still a recent, a modern filmmaker. So his form of storytelling really inspired me so much. So this was all the thing I put into the video I submitted in 2019. And of course, these days, okay, let's pick this one. And in 2021, they called us to have this training in Abuja where they trained us. We're 12. They trained us and then we're giving stories to direct. That was how I got into the limelight from a father's love to a Danfo Christmas. It was when I met Uncle Steve that the game changed. The game became big from the short from the Sebastian Ukwa who used to make the shots, who used to make short films to. And it's not like they picked me and then they threw me to the project. Okay, go make your feature film. No, I was trained for that process. And because I had been reading and then following some filmmakers abroad, when Uncle Steve started giving his meticulous training and Mr. Dotun and all the filmmakers they brought, when they started giving that their process, it was easy for me to blend in because I'd been following this process on my own, reading on my own. So after the training, that was the rest is history. Made for us to go an example this month. Thank you.
So you were saying that, yeah, I mean, even I had spoken to Korede Aziz, and she was also telling about how incredible an experience it was, being trained in all these departments by these stalwarts. And you were given these scripts which you had to direct. So, first thing first, it is a first feature. So, how did you alone get a second feature as well? Because
See. Okay. So on set, I remember one time on set, I went to meet Uncle Steve when we were doing a father's love. I went to meet him. I said, "Sir, am I putting, am I doing everything you taught me in class? You've been on set here. Am I doing all you taught me in class?" The cap, I said, "Okay, Sebastian, we'll talk about it. We are doing well. We are doing good." Uncle Steve does not really pat your shoulder so much so that your head won't be bloated. So it was in the post production that I saw that there was so much work I did on set. Because first, even if your Uncle Steve's biological son, you must provide justification for everything, every decision you make on set. I mean, you have to provide a justification before production starts. Every shot, every blocking must be explained. Why is an actor sitting to take this line? Why is an actor standing up at this time? Why would the actor move? What justifies the movement? Why is the blocking this good? Why is this one standing and this one is sitting talking? What is the power dynamics of this thing? What's the emotional story? What is the high point? This scene, what the climax? What begins it? What's positive charge? Does it begin with a positive charge? Does it end with a negative charge? These are questions you must answer with Uncle Steve while you are doing your defense. So after the script is locked, you have your time to do your breakdown and do your treatment. And then after the treatment is that because he would come on set, he will come on, sorry, he will have a table, he will sit, but this table meeting him and the production would do, where even the producer will be there. And then you walk them through the treatment, where you walk them through the treatment and defend why certain amount must be spent. What camera? Let's even camera is the least question you would even answer. What production? What's making your choice for production design? What what are the actors wearing? Characters, what are they wearing? What fabric? What are the colors? Specifics. Very important. It's not just go on set and shout action. What are they wearing? What are the props? Why is his character with this prop? If you see a Danfo, a father's love, you see David in David's car. There are 10 dams of his children there. It was not in the script. I added that there to create some form of connection to see that this man has his family in his head, even at work. So that when the break finally happens, the audience will feel it. In that story, there is no spectacle. No bomb is flying anywhere. No, we are not bombing any aeroplane. We only have David and Laddie's love story. It must be strong enough for the audience to relate with. And their bond must be strong enough so that when they finally separate, the audience will feel that two couples actually separated. It's not from the beginning, they were already separate from the beginning. When they finally leave each other, the audience won't even feel it. So, apart from that treatment, then there is now the aspect of you and Uncle Steve, that director and Uncle Steve, defending shots and blocking. This shot and blocking happens page by page, all the scripts, page by page. And that page will now have to divide it to scene by scene, which will now relate to shot by shot. In this scene, how many shots do we have in this scene? The shot defines the blocking. How many shots in this scene? So you see me have 3 shots or 5 shots or 7 shots. And those 7 shots may be 7 setup or 4 setup or 3 setup, or you may have 2 setup. So you have 2 setup, and from that 2 setup, you take 7 shots. And each of those setup, we are talking about movie equipment. This is production time. So the director have to factor that time in. So if you're saying you are setting up the camera there, and you make 3 shots from there, your next setup is there. You are going to move equipment. You're going to move trap. You're going to move so many things that if they're dolly, you're moving all those things. These are production timing. So you have to defend all of that, Augustine. You have to defend it. Is there going to be a drone inside your room? You defend all of that. So this was the time you defend all of that. So it was in this period, in this time, when I bring my question, my shots and my bluffing, and Uncle Steve ask questions, and down to 2 a.m. we are defending shots. This is the time where Uncle Steve knows the director that is applying what he wants shots. This is the time where he says, okay, does this one understand storytelling? So I believe strongly that he has seen some level of credibility in me, and I confirmed it because in A Father's Love, he was on set from day one. And even though I defended all my shots in pre-production, on that set, he will be watching. He thinks that this will not work. He would come and say, okay, why not try it like this and try it like that? And I like that he honors the director, even though he has wealth of experience and he's putting so much money on the line. He wants to listen to what the director has to say and what the director wants. There's a major road in Lagos here that we have to shut down. It cost money to shut down that road, that opening thing for A Father's Love. We paid so much money to cost that traffic. There was no natural traffic. We built it there. We cost it. There's so much money to get that done. Why? It's not in the script. Those things were not in the script. Why do you want this, Sebastian? I have to prove why I want it. That train, David walking by that train, it was not in the script. I have to prove why I want this, and if it is justified, it will be approved. So he was there all through. But in A Danfo Christmas, Uncle Steve was not on set for first 5 days. Was not on set. I mean, we wrapped major actors. Patrick Doyle, we wrapped him. Uncle Steve was not on set. We didn't see him on set one day. So there's so much crew members on set. We had over 60 crew members. And these crew members are people who have been making films. When you talk about the award-winning films in Nigeria, these are the guys who make it. They are on set, they're listening, waiting for this young director to say move. And Uncle Steve, who should be there to say, okay, let him just bring his manpower to the place so that when people see him, at least they want to say, okay, Uncle Steve is around, behave well. So if they don't want to respect the director, at least they will respect Uncle Steve. He was not there 5 days. And these crew members behaved. So he has seen that, okay, Sebastian, he has seen some level of competence and he stayed back. No questioning. And when he came on set finally, he would just come and ask questions. Okay, so what scene are you guys doing now? And he would go. Who put such amount of money on a project and just go to sleep? It coming from trust. But I believe it was in the father's love when he saw level of competence and then he called me for a Danfo Christmas. I wondered myself, why was he calling me? But the Uncle Steve and Mr. Dotu I know, they would never give you any responsibility because you are their boy. They like you. No. If it is this responsibility, you have to earn it. You have to prove you are the person, you are the man for the job.
Yeah, so you were saying how you were interested with a second film, but how is it that the second film was also so similar to the first? Was it because of what they saw in A Father's Love that they interested you with A Dan for Christmas, or was it just luck of the draw?
Okay, there was a BTS interview where we were shooting a album with him and he asked me, he said, your first movie was about a downfall driver, a taxi driver, and this one, the downfall driver, what was happening with you and driver? I'm laughing. I don't know myself, but I don't know how it happened. But I know that in a father's love, I was part of the reading process. Although Uncle Steve had gotten this story, the father's love already. So he had gotten this story, my father's love, and when I was they were released and they cleaned this on the process they speed up and the I was selected to do the story. So like I picked it. And then in the reading process, after his first reading process, there was another occasion where him, myself, for roasting South Africa, and then people we now finally you know it's the business the story. But in a downfall Christmas, I was just given a script. They were giving a script. So I have no hand in the man being a downfall driver or not.
Um, will you be up for any other genre of film, or are you more interested in staying and perfecting human stories or dramas as they are right now?
So I would love to try action films, of course. Then another genre I would like to try is like the well, let me just give you drama and action series, action films for now. But even in that action films, there has to be story. If there is no story in that action film, so definitely I won't do it because made by the help of God, my short films have repetitions, and then I've um I've I've been brought with I've been brought up by Uncle Steve, who has a replication in indirectly. I don't want to spoil that with anything. If the producer wanted to people that brings me a stream and I couldn't really if the story isn't good, it's not like I'll back out. I would offer them that helping have the option. Can we use this story? Can we make it better? So if I'm giving a script, I want to tweak that story well to make sure that it's strong enough. Then I will now direct. I think any genre I am beginning to do, any genre at all, there has to be story outside the spectacle. There has to be story that would define what I'll be doing. But then I also like stories that won't corrupt the child. You know, um, I would never see myself doing a thing that is deliberate setting vices in the film and they will condemn it, it deliberately falls through to the end of the thing. There is no place where they condemn that by no matter the amount you're putting out. It's a matter of the simple bad nearly or community is very rebel now. So this is what will guide in the things I would do. It's actually very important.
All right. So, Sebastian, you've worn many hats. You're a DOP, you're a cinematographer, you're a colorist, you're an editor, you're a writer. Uh, which part of the filmmaking process excites you the most?
Film directing. You need to ready me or set film directing is the biggest. Film directing, all these other aspects are it's just like knowing everything and everything and knowing everything about it. So in cinematography, me, any director who doesn't understand cinematography should truly, with all due respect, with all sense of humility, go back to learn it because that screen is what you have to tell the audience that story. You won't be reading the story to them. You won't be telling it. It's not an audio. You have the screen to tell it to them. And so you have to understand cinematography. You have to understand the blocking with camera. I I I love blocking. I love it. That frame it has to be interesting. So you have to understand it. Coloring. I was an editor, you know. So I had to learn color grading as a way of doing something as an income. And as now as a director, I love that I know something about thing coloring because it tells it will help me to aid me in my storytelling. But of all of these, I enjoy interacting with more. On set, I can cry on set. I can get very angry on set. I can be very happy. If something is not going well, it touches me. If you would think, hey, Seb, what's going on? This is not a thing. So I find that of all that facet of filmmaking, directing is the one that connects me the more, that takes my attention the more, that I can stay all night, all day, 3 days and not sleep because I'm trying to get this thing right. If it is not right, I can go back and shoot it again. So film directing is the one say, okay, what am I majoring? My major of film directing. Then these other aspects are just expressions and things that I need for myself as a director. If I have the opportunity of learning other aspects of filmmaking like sound recording, costuming, I would learn those things and just have them in my arsenal as a film director.
So, what's next from here? What are you now working on?
Okay, so I'm building this story. I told you about earlier about speak children. The story is I think it will be fourth year now. So I'm building that story. I'm building it, and when I'm done, I'll seek possible opportunity with what investors so that we can make the story. Because aside from making the film and telling it, it is an advocacy film, a feature film, an advocacy film that after this film is made, something should happen. Telling children in the streets should something should happen to them because somebody made a film. Some of them should be taken out of that street. Some of them should be adopted. You know, the film that I hope to make a real change, a traceable change that can be linked to this film I'm making. So I am building that story. I'm building it. That's the major. I also run a faith-based film festival. This, which is what I'm currently doing. I'm running a faith-based film festival, and I have a YouTube channel where I teach things. I currently have I think about 3,000 subscribers from around the world. It's what I do in the meantime. And these are my own personal projects until let's say another company comes and say, okay, Sebastian, come direct this film for us. But my own sorry, excuse me, my own film I am working on currently is this story I told you about. And once I'm done with this scripting process, I am working on the screenplay with a friend who we both the canvas uh still of a Bible school together. His name is Ojo Igada. So we are working on the screenplay together. Once we are done building it, then we'll explore opportunities to make it. It costs good money because like I said, they're not the basic thing. Apart from making it, I was telling you, some children must leave the street because of that thing.
That sounds very good. Really looking forward to that. Before we leave, Sebastian, I'll just go for a rapid fire. So, yeah, you seem to be such a nice guy. I've said that. So, what is the meanest thing you've ever said to someone?
Me, that thing. Sorry, I'm very. I wish the person had said it to remind you now. This was what you said every time. But I know, I know I'd once say that. I don't want to ever set my eyes on somebody again. Not die, but don't even come near me again. I don't want to ever I don't want to see you. Don't, and I said something like that. Yeah, not something like that. I said that before. And I believe it was said. I said it. So there's ah I can't remember others. But I know this one I'll said so.
All right, this is a rapid fire. So, let's move on. Your favorite director?
Favorite director, Nigeria or abroad? Which one? In Nigeria? That could be
Okay.
Big Booker. In of course, because apart from watching his spin, I had worked with him behind the scene and I see his process. So I rather pick someone I already know his process. So I think that process is Nigeria is Booker. Abroad, Tarantino. I
Tarantino.
mean,
One Nollywood movie everyone should watch.
one Nollywood movie everyone should watch. Breath of Life.
Breath of Life. Okay, an actor you would like to direct.
Actor.
Let's have this into an actor you would like to direct from Nigeria and from anywhere in the world.
Okay. An actor I would like to direct from Nigeria. Hmm. Maybe I'd like to direct from Nigeria. I think I think that would be Ramsey Noah.
You know,
Yes.
that would be amazing.
Noah.
I would really love to see a Sebastian Ukwa movie with Ramsey Noah. Yes, that would be worth it. And an actor from outside Nigeria.
Idris Elba. I've always wanted to make that smart. Idris Elba. And of course, Leonardo DiCaprio. I like to direct both of them.
All right. So here's hoping that we do get to see you directing both of them. Here's looking forward to your upcoming projects. Thanks so much for your time, Sebastian. It was
Thank you.
amazing speaking with you, and it was great fun. And there's so much that we all got to learn and know about. Uh, it was amazing having you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I'm grateful. Thank you for this touch. Thank you so much. Thank you for also loving and so good.